Thank you, Cathaoirleach. Leader, two pieces of news in the past few days have caught my attention. Two linked items by which, in my mind, raised some discrepancies. They were, one, the seizing of a mansion in Sagard by the Criminal Assets Bureau from the Mansfields on account of it being effectively owned by Daniel Kinahan, and B, the announcement yesterday by the Minister McEntee that 2 million sourced from the proceeds of crime is to be invested into community projects. The use of cash criminal proceeds in this way is to be lauded indeed. It was a motion by independent Louth councillors, led by Councillor Paddy McQuillan, that this brainchild was born. It is our communities on the ground who suffer due to the selfish action of criminals, and it is the people of those communities who should receive every support we can give to allow them to build stronger and safer communities. Just as we build up our police force to suppress crime, we must also build up our communities to prevent it. Community projects which foster together the interconnectivity are an integral part of this. This use of liquid criminal proceeds is of obvious benefit, so why are we so slow to liquidate other assets? This seized mansion, which could fetch anywhere between 1 to 2 million, will instead languish on the books of the CAB or its approved receiver for years, during which time it will be left vacant, serving no one, and monies will have to be spent to maintain it and keep it secure. During a housing crisis, the proceeds from this property could be used to house multiple families, or even directly used itself as housing. Why the delay in accomplishing this? It is time to have a look at the Proceeds of Crime Act and allow the CAB to expedite the sale of criminal assets in order that those proceeds might speedily benefit our communities as well. Perhaps the Minister for Justice might address the House with her opinions on this matter. Thank you.
Sorry, Sharon Keogan this afternoon spoke about the very welcome announcement of the new funding that we're now going to use the products of the seizure of criminal assets to redistribute into the communities that have been most blighted by crime. And the announcements were made of the first 2 million this week. Balbriggan was very lucky enough to score €150. I know there's one in Meath, there's one, nearly all over the country. But I'm flabbergasted to hear that we have to keep assets for 6 years before we can dispose of them and realise the cash. That doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. So I will certainly make inquiries, and if it requires a tweak in the legislation, I would think that if we seize something, we have the authority to seize it. That I'm not sure what we're sitting around for 6 years waiting to realise the value of the money for it. I'll come back to you.